Great stuff, isn't it? South African jazz artist Billy Monama is a true talent in the music industry, captivating audiences with his soulful sounds and passion for his craft. He has an upcoming concert titled Mayibuye Africa Freedom Songs, which showcases his dedication to using music as a vehicle for social change. In this concert, he pays homage to the importance of historical context by using the music to tell the stories of oppression, resilience and collective action. He will also be paying tribute to Allen Kwela at this year's Joy of Jazz. We joined in studio by Billy Monama himself to tell us more. Billy, very good morning. It's always good to have you in studio.
Thank you so much, man. This is like my home. You know?
I know, right?
Yes.
And it's always we're always happy to have you join us here.
Thank you so much.
Now, first of all, let's go back a little bit. Can you tell us more about your musical journey as a jazz artist and why specifically jazz music?
Oh, wow. It comes a long way, you know. I grew up at the right time, I suppose. My neighbor used to host talks at Stockfell, whereby, you know, he was playing all the repertoire from the Abdullah Ibrahim and so forth. Yeah. And at that time, jazz, it was at our disposal, you know, like unlike today. Today, young people, when they want to get into the showbiz, they want to be DJs, then you have to play an instrument. So like today, you see this song that is playing now, is a hymn that I was introduced at church, you know. So my mother took me to church, and that's when I saw the guitars, you know, and that's when I was like, you know, this is what I want to play. Yes. You know, so short story, a long story short, and you know, later I studied history at school, and so that's why everything that I do today, it has to do with history, you know, history. All my concepts, they have to do with, it's like a national important concept. Yes.
Was that did that trigger your fascination about history, oppression, the people's struggle, which culminated in you putting together this concert, Mayibuye Africa?
Yes, absolutely. Look, before 1994, we've been watching what was happening around, you know, the Eugene de Kock case. Terre Blanche didn't want to give in. So now, there was so much was happening at that time. So growing up, I grew up in an environment whereby you read a newspaper for you to get information, to be informed. You know, so Mayibuye is just a reflection of what is happening currently. It means it's not yet over. Today, you find racial incidences that they happen. You ask yourself, how is it that in this day and age we're still going through this? And then the other social ills is that men are murdering and killing women. Every time those things they happen, I always ask myself, how did we get here? And I realize that it's consciousness. It's the lack of consciousness. So now when I say Mayibuye Africa, I say let Africa begin, because this is who we are. And I quote in closing with explaining about this. Hugh Masekela says that you know, humility, respect and dignity, it is the crucial cornerstone of African social life. Yes. We are not those people who don't care about life. At what point life is not important to someone, you know?
You know, Billy, I know that some of these struggle songs, every South African will strike a particular resonance with it. So how then did you select these struggle songs or these freedom songs in this particular project? There
are so many freedom songs. Actually, we can have the whole week concert about freedom songs. There are so many of them. But now, notably, when I was doing a research, I stumbled on a person by the name of Vuisile Mini. And he was executed by Verwoerd in 1964 on the 6th of November. So he was with his comrades. They were members of Mkondo Wesizwe. They were in exile in Tanzania. So now they were also part of the so-called the Mayibuye ideology, you know. And those composers, they composed so many songs, you know. So now this first segment of let me say this first installment, it will cover this much of songs, and then the next one, because we're trying to do it annually, you know. So now Zinakele Nkaba was hanged with his friends, and as he was walking on the corridor there in jail, he was singing Nanzi Ndoda Emnyama. That's how those songs they were. And then in London, there was a group also called the Spear of the Nation. It was called Mayibuye, Africa. In New York, there was Mayibuye, Africa, freedom songs that were comprised of Abdullah Ibrahim and Mam Tembi Mchali. So this project, the first segment of the show, it pays tribute to those people, and then the second segment, it pays tribute to Yuma Sikela, the second generation of exiles.
The Joy of Jazz is coming up later on this month. So what can we expect from your performance? Will we have some of these songs you perform at the Joy of Jazz?
No, Joy of Jazz is something different. It's totally something different. People, they must know that Joy of Jazz is something special on its own, because I'm paying tribute to one of the prolific and virtuoso, a highly accomplished jazz guitarist by the name of Allen Kwela. He is the second generation of the South African jazz guitar, according to the history. He composed so many songs back then that they captured so many of us, like the past, present and future. That was the songs that he featured Sibongile Khumalo on. Actually, for people to know Sibongile Khumalo, it was through those songs, because that was the first recording that she did with Allen Kwela. So, but now I want to present a repertoire that it was never, performed that much of Allen Kwela. So I'm bringing a special thing, and luckily we have got the blessing from his family, because the wife said, Billy, listen, there's a material that Allen has never performed before. He was one of the inspiration. I mean, born 1939 and, demised on 2003, and there was never a tribute of such before. So I'm inviting a special guest, Mimi Mchali. She will be joining me to, to reflect on the music of Allen Kwela in the Joy of Jazz. People, they must buy the tickets now.
Of course.
Before they regret.
But of course. Really lovely chatting to you, man.
Yeah,
all the best, eh?
Thank you so much.
This is such beautiful, beautiful music. That was a renowned jazz artist, Billy Monama, talking to us about Mayibuye, Africa, that has artists like Judith Sapuma and Titidu Zipo, just to mention a few on their line. Now, Billy is also preparing for his performance at this year's Joy of Jazz.